What up, boys and girls? This is Chris Morgan here with Karp Talk Radio, and today we've got plenty of news for you. We've got plenty of new stuff to talk about, and today we're joined by three other co-hosts, and they are...
Hi, I'm DJ Powell.
Hi, I'm Jamie Chestnut.
Hi, I'm Beardachew. Ryan.
Dun, dun,
Ow,
dun.
I just poked myself in the eyes with my glasses.
Good
What a
job,
start.
Beardachew.
That start, though.
Oh, of course.
So
That
how's everybody
start,
doing this week?
Peek-a-pee.
Peek-a-pee.
Well, school's good. I never get time to do anything, but school's good.
How was league this week, Jamie?
I didn't go.
You didn't go to league?
I ain't been the past 2 weeks.
So that's why Lauren and Caitlin don't have their amiibos yet.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're still in my living room.
I'm just glad that was finally solved.
Yeah, I saw a blue bag. I brought it in and was like, Jamie, don't forget these. Set it down, went to the restroom, came out, Jamie was gone, and then the bag was there, and I was like, oh, and I didn't realize he didn't grab it until when I was cleaning yesterday, actually. Whenever I told you guys that I found it, and it was sitting right where I said it.
Can't leave anything up to Jamie. He'll always disappoint you.
'Tis true, 'tis true.
Nah, he's a good guy. Or so I've
Pissed
been
off,
told.
too.
What is it?
Well, piss off, too.
Oh.
Hey,
Well, I
this
take
is
that back.
PG.
Jamie's not a good guy.
That's right.
I'm a terrible person. We all know this.
I retract my statement, good sir.
Anyway,
Have fun, we're
go
out.
ahead and get on topic.
Yeah, so finally, the rule that we've been wondering about since these new break cards came out has finally been answered, and it turns out, sadly, we cannot Archies or Maxi in one of those break cards because they are, in fact, not a Pokemon according to the ruling that's been made. How you guys feel about that?
I sort of agree, and I agree, but I don't want to agree. Like, I wish it would be like, oh, boom, automatically break card, but sadly we can't.
See, but then a card would just have an ability and not an attack or retreat cost or a weakness.
Exactly. That's
So,
why there was no other ruling. I mean, that was the ruling.
Yeah, the guy who likes broken cards here was kind of let down, but you know, it's understandable. It makes sense for the game, and you know, honestly, it's probably great that we can't, you know, Archie's in a Golduck because that's just gonna be crazy anyway. So, what we're waiting on now is whether or not
Absolutely.
these break cards, if they work the same way regular evolution cards work, or if we can go ahead and do the break evolve as soon as we get them, which would make them useful. Because I think for the most part, I don't think any of them's going to see any play because we've already seen that stage 2s are just way too slow in this format.
and now those pretty much the break cards are stage 3s. Some of them. Like Chestnut and Florges.
I can't remember the last time I seen a Chestnut get played. So
I don't think I've ever seen a Chestnut get played.
I
back
played
when-
one. I played one online, but it was like they were using all the 3 starters, and I was like, "Oh, I got this." It was in the middle of a tournament, and they didn't get anything, and I literally just overran with Manectric to kill them all off. I thought it was that really scary deck that ran. It ran Chestnut, the Froakie one. Oh my gosh, Greninja. That's it. And the Delphox or whatever. And that deck was like really good when they first came out because this person I played against was just like, I'm gonna just do all this craziness. Turns out the person just decided to run a 1-1-1 line of everything, and they couldn't get anything because they didn't run Ultra Balls or anything. So they're a new player. I give them props for using basic Pokemon, I guess, but it just wasn't a good deck.
I mean, you've got Chestnut with Rock Guard that you could pull off the Chestnut from XY base, and then every time somebody attacks you, it gets, 8 damage counters put on it. I mean, that could potentially be a thing, especially with Broken Vine Space being a thing now. I believe, I'm trying to remember if it was Mike TCGO or a Blue Golf Ball. One of them did a video on it. But that's the only time I've ever seen a chestnut get played.
True.
I've seen some rookies use the Chestnut EX, and they didn't know what they were doing. Does that count?
I would be that person who would make that card fantastic.
I wish the starter Pokemon had been a lot better because I really liked the Delphox and the Greninja, but there's just been no support for them. And that Delphox is amazing, but there's no way to cheat it in play anymore, really. I mean, you can still rare candy it, but more than likely you're just going to run into a Toad and it's going to sit there in your hand.
I mean, being able to draw up to 6 every turn and then Mystical Fire, which is basically a fire hydro pump.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is that fire deck going around right now that runs the, I think it's a 4, was it 4 or 3? It was 3, 3, 1, 3 of the Delphox, and it has the Stoke Charizard EX with the Entei. It ran, I think, 3 or 4 Entei. That deck, I lost to that deck. Like, my Manectric deck, here I am, blah, 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 and it couldn't even keep up with it because it was too fast. I was very impressed. I lost to it twice, like in 2 different tournaments. I would make it all the way up to 2, and it would be like me and this guy, and they would run that deck, and I've lost every single time. I couldn't get Regice powered up enough, and that's the only thing that hits for weakness. The other ones Manectric would hit for like 110, and it kept running VS Seekers and the Blacksmith.
Blacksmith.
It kept running those, so no matter what I did, and it's giving up 1 prize card for 2. It was a good deck. I was very impressed, and the fact that I lost to it twice makes me realize that this deck is coming around. And I think the reason why it's coming around is because not so many people are playing Toad anymore, and you hardly ever see Toad. So, that's gonna be, we're gonna have to be expecting that.
If there's one thing Fire always seems to do right, it's speed decks in this format.
The same thing with Magic, the Gathering. Mono deck, red deck wins.
Yeah, I've won quite a few tournaments with those, so.
As have I.
I was never good at them. I always played blue to counter their everything.
Screw that.
Let me tell you what, Fog Bank was the best thing in Standard when you were versing a red deck wins. But they would always like shock it or something. So
no, you just give it trample.
And I'm just sitting here having no idea what you all are talking about.
Different game, guys. We're talking about the Pokemans.
I was just saying, red in most formats, like Pokemon and Magic, I don't know about the other ones, they're fast. Very aggro.
The problem in Pokemon, though, is your best aggro card is still Toad. It just comes out swinging turn 1, and it's like, I'm going to be the beatdown and the control deck. So, screw you guys.
I miss lasers because of Toad.
Oh, laser. You know, I'll play every one of those cards, but in my heart, I just know they're really bad for the game. But I'll play them. I mean, they're the strongest cards in the game. And if you're going to pay to play in tournaments, and you're going to pay, you know, to try and make your way to Worlds and stuff, then you got to play the best cards, regardless of how you feel about it. Because I absolutely hate Enhanced Hammer. It makes no sense to me why you would continuously print really good special energies and then just, you know, screw everybody over by printing one card that can go in every single deck.
Absolutely.
From a designer standpoint, it makes no sense whatsoever. Like, to me, energy removal should only appear on Pokemon. It should be an attack, because once you put it on an item card, specifically in this game where there's no mana cost, there's no cost of any kind to play it, you know, you've got a one-sided weapon here that destroys everything you want your game to do, which is you want people to play those special energies. That's why you're printing them. But if people can't keep them on their Pokemon, there's no reason to run them.
Absolutely. That's why there's when we went to the League Challenge, I forgot his name, but he said, you guys know what I'm talking about. He said to take out the flash energies in my Manectric deck because he didn't think that was good, and he was playing fighting, and the only reason why he beat me, well, one of the reasons why he beat me, he still may have won, but the last 5 cards in my deck had 2 of them, and the third one was prized. That could have made a big difference if I would have had that turn 1. Because even if he had Enhanced Hammer, I ran 3 of them, so I could get another one. But because I had a terrible draw game, I had him way at the bottom, and the last 5 cards I had 2, and one was prized.
Yeah, that's always the way it seems to go. You always get those. I hate the little one and done tournaments there, because you always get your game 3 at the most crucial time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but it's a matter of time management.
You
Understandable, but it's where it's okay. Since it's a league challenge, we need to get points for nationals. Nationals is best 2 out of 3, and Worlds is also best 2 out of 3. So I think
best 2 out of 3.
Exactly. So that's why I feel that league challenges should also be best 2 out of 3, because it should be preparing us for all of the regionals, nationals, and then worlds. So how are we supposed to, like, let's say I have a really good deck, and then every single game I had awful, like just awful draws, and I had like the most consistent. Yes, Ryan.
No, I'm just raising my hand saying that I had that happen at the league
Oh,
challenge.
okay. See, exactly. And same thing with me. Well, if I would have went again and I got the special energy and they couldn't get rid of it because they weren't expecting to see it, then I could have won. And that way it made it 1-1. So then that third game would have been like, because honestly, my deck, even though it was weak to his deck, it was equal because I had Regice. It just like, I would have known to play that one because it didn't have any other Pokemon that could attack me besides its Landorus. And the Landorus is weak, so I could hit it one time, and it couldn't one-shot hit or kill anything unless it had 3 special energies. But where I was running 2 Enhanced Hammers, I could have gotten rid of those. So it couldn't really one-hit kill me.
DJ, you're rambling.
I'm not rambling. It's logic. It's strategy.
It's because DJ didn't get to join us last week because he was busy with school, and we all got to talk about the league challenge, and he didn't. So, I think it's fair.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
School. Yeah, Jamie. Where's your classes, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. But yeah, so thank you guys for letting me quote unquote ramble.
You're welcome. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Let's see. The only other thing we got coming out that besides all the Mewtwo art that Jamie's already nutted all over.
It's true. It's true.
Is the Blister Pack Promos. We got a Sableye, a Celebi, and a Jirachi, and 2 of them are the Ancient Origin one with the Theta Stop ability. And I think out of all 3 of them, that Celebi is probably the most interesting one. You want to talk about it, DJ? Because I know that Celebi is your favorite Pokemon.
Celebi is definitely my favorite Pokemon. Well, my favorite legendary. The stop ability makes it really cool because it's like, oh, you can't touch it. But at the same time, it also has the ability where if it has 70 HP, so it's very, like, it can be killed very easily. But where it has the 1 energy, put 1 damage counter on every Pokemon, or all of your opponent's Pokemon. That's really cool because with the fighting deck that's going around right now, like, that could stop that because the focus slashes wouldn't work anymore. And then you could actually eventually, like, one-hit kill him. But at the same time, it also has the really cool ability where even if it's knocked out, you flip a coin, and then if heads, you shuffle it. Your opponent doesn't take a prize, and then you shuffle it back into your deck. And I think that that's really, really cool because technically, well, theoretically speaking, it would never die, and your opponent would never take prize cards if you had 4 of them all the time. And then you just kept flipping heads. And isn't there like a trick coin? Is that the trick coin where you can reflip?
Trick coin's only for attacks.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's why it doesn't see much play.
Mm-hmm.
That could possibly, if you was to build the deck completely around that, just sit there and troll them to death and make.
Yeah, put 1 on every single one. What I was thinking is, You guys remember the Dusknoir, like, with this, is it Sinister Hand? The one where if you did that, and just for a fun deck, because it obviously wouldn't be competitive, but it would be fun to play, because you just have that and then have Celebi, because for 1 energy, theoretically, with Skyfield, it could be doing, for 1 energy, 80 damage on the board. So you just transfer that, because with Skyfield and everything, that'd be really cool.
But there's also that Cursed Eyes Absol that moves energy around. You could just keep picking it up and putting it back down. Just have a deck completely around Celebi and Absol. And then you would just go and, you got that damage here. Let's think Absol, move it up to the front. Now we're going to do the attack again. Let's AZ, pick it up, do that. And then whenever Celebi would get knocked out, you'd flip the coin. If it's tails, you just shuffle it back in your deck, pull up your next Celebi.
If it's heads, shuffle it in your deck.
And then you could just level ball and then pull out the Celebi again. Just start the process over and over.
This is true.
You have to take about 10 knockouts to get 6 prizes.
Either that or they just bench you out.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem you'd really run into.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it could work.
Theoretically speaking, any deck could work.
It'd be
You could
fun.
have 1 MagiKarp, and it could work.
1 MagiKarp and 59 energies.
Exactly. And it could work.
Mulligan so much that you force your opponent to draw out their entire deck before the game starts.
Now we're
Yeah,
getting
exactly.
into
That's our top secret cities deck that we're going to play.
Yes. Everybody needs we're running MagiKarp, but that's a secret, so we can't tell you guys that.
That's right. Look for the deck list on Burbank coming soon.
Coming very
No,
soon.
you'll still post the deck list, and people will ask for deck lists on Burbank in the comments.
It's
I ask,
also true.
I ask for lists all the time on there, so I think information is the most important part of this game, and if somebody will share them with me, texts and stuff that they've got, I'll gladly look at them and see if I can apply them to anything that we're doing, and pass that information on to DJ, because that's where I usually get the, he texts out most of the stuff for us, and he does a good job on it.
Thank you.
Let's see, the other promo card we got here, we got Sableye. It's a Psychic type with the 70 HP. It's also got the Theta Stop. Its attacks are pretty subpar. It's got, for a Psychic energy, we got Energy Hunt. You can flip 3 coins, and for each head, you search your discard pile for a basic energy card and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon EX. It's kind of interesting, but again, it's got coin flip, and it has to be a bench Pokemon EX, so a couple of things you'd have to work around with there. The other one it's got is for a double colorist. It's got Claw Slash, which does 20 damage, which that's not good enough to get there either. So great art on this card, but other than that, it's just going to sit in a binder, I believe.
And then there are 2 more that are going to be a part of the Ancient Origins blisters as well, and these cards are going to be in the single blisters. The cards we previously talked about are in the 3-pack blisters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 1 pack. It comes with either a reprint of Hawlucha from Furious Fist, which was already pretty accessible to start with, or there is a Jirachi card. It is a metal basic Pokemon that has 60 HP. For 1 energy, it has a move that does 10 damage, and it lets you discard an opponent's special energy attached to their active, and if you do so in that manner, Jirachi cannot take any effects from any attacks from your opponent's active, regardless of who's active, for the next turn. So I could see that being a possible intriguing Toad counter, or, let's see, even a Mienshao counter, because it doesn't matter who's active.
Or Giratina with the Dragon Dex.
See, but it only has 60 HP, so it might not be able to live against anything.
Well, as long as it's coming up and it's knocking out a special energy, because that's the condition, that it has to be a special energy. And I think, you can run it in your, like, the metal list and stuff as 1 or 2 tech card come up. It can knock off that special energy, then it can just kind of sit there and tank a turn.
Absolutely.
Switch.
Bind turn.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who's active.
Lysander.
Yeah. Well,
Lysander will always be a card. You always have to be looking for the Lysander.
yeah, but
It's one of those cards where you would have to lay it down, know when to play it. So you can't really I wouldn't let it sit on your bench unless you need it for Skyfield if you're playing Metal Rayquaza. But I would keep it in your hand for when you do need it. You can play it, switch it, hit, get rid of the energy if you don't have an enhanced hammer, and then so that's basically an enhanced hammer that you can reuse because you can use the card where it shuffles your Pokemon back into your pile, your deck, and then basically reuse it. So you can have a bunch of enhanced hammers that aren't really enhanced hammers.
Yeah, this will also be a really good one. Also in Fairy Box, it gives them another answer that they can go get when they're needing to slow down their opponent. I think it's a really neat little card. And again, like I said, if something's going to discard energies, I think it should be on a Pokemon. And this one seems to have low enough HP and stuff that it kind of balances that out a little bit. I like it. I like it a lot.
That it wouldn't be entirely too broken.
Right. I don't like that it's a colorless per se. Like, I don't want it to go in every single deck. Because that's a lot of the problems that I have with like Enhanced Hammer and Crushing Hammer and supporter cards that remove energies, that they just fit in every single deck. They may not supposed to go in those decks, you know, depending on what your strategy is, but the fact that they can fit there and there's no, you know, there's no problem with doing that. It doesn't affect the deck in any way or make it run awful or anything like that. It's, to me, it's just a bad design flaw. But I'll quit ranting about that.
I'll admit I'll probably run one.
But you said, yeah, I'll definitely run one for sure. I think it's a good card. I really do. The fact that you can only get it out of the blister, though, may make it a little pricey once people see that it maybe does really good at a regional or something.
Only out of the single card blisters. Yeah, when break comes out, I'm probably gonna have to run to my Meijer or Walmart and get 4 of them because that'll be the cheapest I'll be able to get it.
Yeah, and I almost never buy those, you know, booster packs or anything. But the Regirock that was in the other one was really good. You know, in those Fairy Box decks for just putting all your energy on them and they can't touch them. So.
Yeah, the Pangoro and the Roaring Skies blister could be pretty good too because it gets plus 20 HP for each Pokemon on your bench. So you could add another 160 HP to something that's already got 110. And it's not an EX, so if it's knocked out, the opponent only takes 1 prize.
And it's going to take at least 2 hits no matter what card in the format.
That's kind of, I think, one of those mystery techs people are sleeping on a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said we was also getting a reprint of Hawlucha, is that right?
We are getting a special holofoil print variation of the Hawlucha from Furious Fists.
So it'll have like the shattered glass look?
Presumably.
I'll definitely pick those up. Hopefully I won't have to buy a blister for it, but yeah. I do like me some Hawlucha.
They're really good cards.
Remember, guys, it doesn't hit for weakness or resistance.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me.
I remember Ryan. Did you know that card did that?
I don't want to talk about it.
We already had this story.
Because I remember when I could have topped 4 and I got 8 because of you. I mean, I'm just. Am I wrong? No,
I don't want to talk about it.
It's all good.
Sorry, I had to bring it up.
I picked up my first card and shuffled it in my deck, so no matter what, you were gonna win. Because fun fact, once you pick up any card and you start putting your stuff together, that means you concede even if it's wrong. Like even if whatever you think happened doesn't happen, like what we thought, because we thought it hit for weakness, which it doesn't. And I was running Manectric, of course. You know, as soon as you pick up a card, that means you concede, no matter what. Final rolling.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Fun fact, DJ likes to hold grudges.
Really? I couldn't tell.
Really? You can't tell? No, I'm just kidding.
No, it doesn't matter. If you ever feel like he's holding a grudge against you, just remind him that Jamie didn't call him at Nationals and cost him around.
So, I would have day 2'd. But Jamie...
Not this story again.
Okay.
Yes, this story.
The fam needs to know. Okay, fam. So, I would have day 2'd, but Jamie had to use the restroom. So I go sit in the the room where if you've ever been to nationals, you go in the room and people are just like play testing and trading and everything else in there. And there's a couple people that sell like stuff from Japan, so it's really cool. I would check it out if you guys go nationals. But so I was sitting in there, and 25 minutes went by, and I'm like, the round is starting. Where's Jamie? So I call him. He's not in the restroom. So I go in the room, and I'm late. So 5 minutes passed, so it's automatically a round loss. Well, I beat the guy. So it was I won one, he didn't win any. Well, then we tied. So it would have been 1-0-1. But because I was 5 minutes late, that automatically makes me have a round loss. So it was 1-1-1. And because I was late and we tied, it was 1-2, so they ended up winning. So I would have day 2'd if it wasn't for Jamie not calling me when he said he was going to.
I've heard this story like 10 times, and I've been griped out for months about it.
It's okay. Remember when I got second place and I got Tropical Beach, and then in one of the packs I pulled a Full Art Shaman? I was okay.
Good times. Good times.
Very good times. The Full Art Shaman was free, by the way.
The good times when I hadn't even considered playing Pokemon TCG yet.
You was
When did
playing
you
at that
start?
point.
No, I
You're
was
playing.
playing at that point. You're right.
You just didn't go. You didn't have enough points for nationals. But
Yeah.
we're gonna go to nationals and win. You guys can mark me now. We will.
One
win.
of us goes to nationals. We're all going.
Absolutely.
We'll all
We're
be
all
at
going to support our
nationals.
teammates.
Absolutely. And if one of us makes it to Worlds, we made a pact. If one of us goes, we all go.
My bags are already packed.
That's a little weird.
All
I'm
right.
actually going to be leaving to go out of state in a few days, so my bags are packed for a different reason. But
That makes more sense.
All right, let's go on to the next topic. Anything more news-wise, Chris?
That's pretty much it. This is about it until our next set comes out and they start revealing more stuff for the next Japanese set. So we already know what we're getting. Yay. Come on, Pokemon. It's time to start doing worldwide releases.
Okay, so since we're done with news, let's just go ahead and do our regular conversation. Believe it or not, even though we are Team MagiKarp, MagiKarp isn't any of our favorite Pokemon, even though we love it so much. I don't know.
It's number 3 on my list.
It's number 3 on mine, too.
It's just something I like to laugh about. But we're
Won't
all
be
gonna
laughing when it flops you in the face.
Hey, when it evolves, that's when I get scared.
Gyarados. Oh, hey, fun fact. Okay, this is just a fun Pokemon fact. Mew, M-I-W, means cat in Egypt. So in Egyptian writing, Mew, M-I-W, means Mew. When Mew was first introduced to the Pokemon, it was, if you saw the promo card, or the sealed card, that one. Talk, Ryan.
hi, Ancient Mew,
Okay.
right here.
Okay, that is Egyptian for Mew. Well, it's also M-E-W, the way we know it as Mew. So Mew is Mew, meaning cat in Egyptian, and it is an ancient Mew, which is Egyptian writing.
Mew is also the first Pokemon copyrighted before the word Pokemon was even copyrighted. A full year.
I did not know that.
Gosh, you guys are such nerds.
I know, but at least I've come to terms with it.
Yeah.
But I'm cute, though.
Anyway,
Ladies.
Ladies.
Anyway, we're going to talk about what our actual favorite Pokemon are and why they are our favorite. Chris, I'm going to let you start this one.
All right. So my favorite Pokemon, like I said, number 3 is MagiKarp. Number 2, if you guys, from my rant last week, is Dragonite. I'll always be a fan of Dragonite, and there will be eventually a Mega Dragonite who will evolve from Dragonite Night. And my favorite Pokemon is Eevee, because Eevee can be anything except for Dragon and Steel, and
Fighting.
there we go. But eventually, we'll get those. I know it's coming, but that's definitely my favorite Pokemon of all, and I've loved it since the Gen 1 game. which just had 3 evolutions then, and you had to convince your friend they need to restart their game twice so you could get the other 2. But,
Or you could beat Pokemon Stadium and get more than 1 Eevee.
I didn't have that. I just had a Game Boy Color and Pokemon Red.
I'm so sorry.
It took a lot of grass to get that. So
you might want to elaborate on that because you say it took.
Yeah, you might want to elaborate, Chris.
Oh, they know
It
what
sounds
I
like
mean.
you're a drug dealer.
Oh, they know what it means.
I mean, come on, half of them's my customers.
We all cut grass.
Oh God, I will pay anybody to come cut my grass here.
I'll cut your grass. How much?
I hate it. $50, but there ain't no grass to cut now. But I
I'll
hate
cut grass.
I would rather go in debt than cut grass. I hate it that much.
$50 plus the price of gas, because it'll take me an hour or 2 hours to get there from here.
Awesome. And then we got to play some Pokemon after that.
Sounds good. I'll do it. Have a before so I'm not all smelly.
Anyways,
I'll pass
let's get
the
back to
baton
gushing
over
about
to
our favorite
Ryan there.
Pokemon.
All right, lay it on us, Ryan.
All right, so my top 3 favorite Pokemon. Number 3 is Scyther. It was my favorite from the Generation 1 games. I mean, come on, it has blades for arms. How much cooler can you get than that? And actually, I should have gotten it out, but when I think it was 7 years old, I was in Cub Scouts for a bunch of years, and they have the Pinewood Derby race every year. And one year, I made my car a Roadster-style car with a Scyther battle figure riding in the driver's seat. It was dark green, had a flame job on it, had 1, 2, 3 on the side of it because that was Scyther's Pokedex number.
That's awesome.
And then, yeah, so I've always thought Scyther was a G, and I thought Scizor was a completely unnecessary evolution. But now I've come to love it. Number 2 is Tyranitar. He's a rock dark type, looks like Godzilla. He eats mountains. What more do you need? And number 1 is the psychic fighting sword fighter itself, Gallade. As you can see by my big collection of Gallade cards here. He's a master of both swordsmanship and kindness. He's kind of a cool guy. He's got a unique typing. And it still retains Gardevoir's amazing special defense while being a physical attacker rather than special. Plus, he's cool. He's got blades for arms.
Heck yeah.
What an unnecessary place for him.
All right, Jamie.
All right. My number 3 favorite Pokemon is Greninja. 2 of my favorite things is I love ninjas because I grew up watching Naruto as a kid, and it was always my favorite anime.
I played that card game.
Yeah, and it's a frog. Frogs are my favorite animals. So whenever I saw that, whenever I finished Pokemon 1, I peed a little bit.
See, I thought you were going to say that water was the other thing you loved, which I would think everybody loves water. You need it to live.
My sister hates water.
That's a topic for another day. Greninja is just amazing. And then I discovered how amazing it was competitively whenever I saw the ability Protean, which lets it become any type of its using attack. So I'm like, this thing is good too? Oh my gosh, I love this so much. And Greninja quickly grew to be one of my favorite Pokemon. Number 2 for me has to be Mewtwo, because I remember watching the movie whenever I was like 5 years old. My mom just surprised me one day and brought it home on VHS, and I probably watched it about 40 times. And it's just amazing. Mewtwo can do literally everything. And he said one of my favorite quotes of all time. Which
The circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant.
Yeah. I see now that the circumstances of one birth is irrelevant. It's what you do with the gift of life that truly matters. Gandhi didn't say that. Jesus didn't say that. Mewtwo said that. Number 1 for me is Typhlosion. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Gold, and I chose Cyndaquil. I mean, Porcupine is probably my second favorite animal. And then the porcupine with its sticks being out of its back being fire. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And then Quilava comes along and it has fire coming out of its head and its butt. So when it farts, it literally has fire flying out of its behind. That is so cool. And then Typhlosion. It has like this big eruption thing around its neck. If you ever get cold or you want to roast marshmallows, you just sit there and hold a little stick, and then you're roasting your marshmallows. And then it learns Eruption, which is like my favorite attack, next to Flamethrower, and also learns Flamethrower. And it's amazing. I wish we had a Typhlosion EX that was really, really good.
That's a good description. I love marshmallows.
All right, DJ.
I mean, wouldn't it be perfect?
That would be perfect. All right, mine. Number 3 is MagiKarp, and it's because it's like it brought all of us together as Team MagiKarp. So, and all of my favorite Pokemon have like stories to them. So that's definitely one of them. If it's not number 3, it's Shiftry, and that's a story for another day. But number 2, my number 2 favorite Pokemon is probably Celebi. Although Celebi is my favorite legendary, it's not my favorite overall Pokemon, or if it is, it's tied. But a long time ago, when I was little, when Pokemon came to the movies, I think it was 2000, they gave a promo Celebi card, and I got the pack, and then they were also selling Celebi plushes, so I got a Celebi plush, and I still have that Celebi plush, and I still have the promo card for the Celebi, and it was my first Pokemon card, so that's what started me into being like what I am now. And then my favorite Pokemon in general is Ampharos. Not because like of any specific reason, but my sister, when she was 6, she saved up money so she could buy me stuff, and she went to what is it called? Oh my goodness! It's basically a giant flea market type deal, and she bought me Ampharos from the first set it came out, and she spent $17 on it, which is a lot back then. And just because she worked so hard for that money and she saved it up for me, she bought it for me that card, and it became my favorite Pokemon. So all of my favorite Pokemon have like sentimental reasons. And the reason why Shiftry would be my 3rd favorite if it wasn't for MagiKarp is because the same day she bought me that, she spent $6 more and bought me the Shiftry.
It's pretty awesome.
So that's my sentimental soft side.
For you.
What?
Okay, here's a story. Me, DJ, and Cody, we all kind of like chipped in on each other and got each other some plushes for Christmas. Cody's actually DJ's roommate. And
Don't remind me.
DJ and Cody went and bought me, and I have to. It's story time. And then me and DJ chipped in and got Cody a Pitbull club. And me and Cody chipped in and got him an Ampharos. And the Ampharos plush actually got stolen.
From Games and Comics.
Yeah, someone at our local shop went and stole it. We thought maybe someone misplaced it or something, or got lost.
Somebody knew it was. Okay, I asked them. I was like, "Hey, where's my Ampharos? It's here." And they said somebody picked it up. Well, first off, it said for DJ right on the Ampharos. So if somebody came in and said, "I'm picking this up for DJ," all they have to do is read it. The box is right there of who the stuff is for. So what I think that they did wrong as a store is they should call me, since they do have my number, and most of the people were friends with me there. So they could have asked either the Pokemon League that they have there to ask if they can pick it up for me, or call me so I know to let them know if they can give it to me or not. But instead, they're just like, "Sure, I trust you, random person. Here's his Ampharos." and it was an expensive plush, and it was for Christmas, so I loved it to death. And somebody took it from the store, and they didn't do anything about it. They just said sorry. So
that's terrible.
Yeah, but things happen. If that kid needed that Ampharos more than needed it enough not to pay for it and just to take it, then I hope it makes them as happy as it made me.
It's very adult of you.
I like that, DJ. It's pretty good.
Thank you.
Well, boys, I believe we've come to the end of another show. If anybody's got anything else to say.
Go Team MagiKarp. We'll see you guys at Worlds.
That's right. Hashtag.
And we'll be seeing you guys. We'll be seeing you guys here in about 2 weeks at Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne, we will be inside you in 2 weeks.
Wow, that's really awkward.
That's what I'm here for.
He said.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see y'all next week. Keep splashing.
See you guys.
Keep splashing.
Splash away, Holmes. Splash away.